Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome to another LEGO Harry Potter review. So today we're going to be looking at set number 4707, Hagrid's Hut. This set includes 299 pieces and originally retailed for $29.99 back in October of 2001. As I've been saying for the last couple of reviews, this is another really amazing find that I got in a bulk haul. Really happy to finally have the first ever version of Hagrid's Hut, which means I'm only missing the 2004 version in order to do a collection video. As you can see, I don't have the original box or instructions, so let's move right in with our minifigure selection. Looking at our very first minifigure, we have Albus Dumbledore, who is not exclusive, also coming within 4 other sets counting this one. Looking at his character, we have the yellow flesh tone for the time period, and we have the older purple color for his outfit. We get the printing from the legs, which leads up to the belt piece up to the torso, which I'll remove the beard in a minute. No back printing, but we do get a very nice under the neck accessory of that cape in that purple color. We also get the under the neck accessory of the beard in the old light gray, and we also see the hairpiece in that old light gray as well, which is that classic Dumbledore hairpiece that we saw introduced back in the day. Removing the under the neck accessory and hairpiece, here's a better look at the torso printing, as well as the facial expression exposing Dumbledore's bare chest. And for our last minifigure, we obviously have to get Rubeus Hagrid in Hagrid's Hut. He is also not exclusive, coming within 4 other sets counting this one. Now for Hagrid's minifigure, we continue the yellow flesh tone for the time period. We also get a new mold for the beard right there, a soft plastic, as well as a new mold for the body overall. Now one thing you can do with the body is, of course, you can move the arms back and forth, but we don't get any posability in the hands. They didn't add that until 2004. We also get the print from the very front of the body, which a fun fact that I might as well say again in this video is that they printed the silver color first that you see in the belt, and then they printed over it with the other colors. And lastly, of course, we have to talk about the facial expression, which I don't think is one of the better facial expressions for Hagrid, but hey, it's fine for the time period. And here's just a quick spin around, and I'll plop the beard piece right back on. So then you can take an overall look at Hagrid's minifigure. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for Rubeus Hagrid. Before we look at Hagrid's Hut, let's take a look at these 2 side builds. So for our first side build, we have this little cart right here, which use these black wheels, which I really love getting in that color for the time period. You have a little area if you want to put something in there. I guess this is to gather stuff from Hagrid's pumpkin patch, which we don't necessarily get in this set, but you know, it's just a nice gesture to throw across. We also have a little torch over here if you're interested to see that. Really like getting the torch piece in black. And then we also see one of these pieces right there in that older dark gray. Connected via clip piece, I guess that's just a handle if you want to hold on to that in order to drag it across right there on the wheels. As for the other build, we have this little trap that we use to trap this little rat in this white color, which I've never seen a rat in white, so that's pretty cool to get in this set. But looking at the trap build, it's pretty simple how that works. You have this Technic axle that you pull out in order to lock the rat into the trap. And now the trap is held up using that axle. You can see how that works right there. And you can lie it down. You have the Technic connection from the back right here. That's how that works. We also get one of these fence pieces in brown, which is pretty nice. The old brown though. We also have a little bit of leaves over here just to make it look as if it's a nice little trap area. And as I said, you can have it down on the ground, and you can have the rat go in and then pull the trap and trap the rat in the box. Looking at Hagrid's Hut, this is the very first time that we ever got it in LEGO form. One thing that I have to note as something that none of the other versions of Hagrid's Hut has is the fact that we get this roof using this more paper cutout thing over here, which has a print from all sides of it, which I think is really cool that LEGO actually made something specific for Hagrid's Hut back in the day just to create the roof. One thing that I don't really care for is the fact that all of this is held together using rubber bands from the top, and then, you know, it's just a weird overall connection for how this works. And also how you access the interior of Hagrid's Hut, I think is just so weird the way that LEGO decided to do it back in the day. But before we get into the interior, we might as well just spin around the overall look of Hagrid's hut. We have the chimney from the very back, which is the only part that like comes out from the rest of Hagrid's hut. Otherwise, we have this entire like octagon type shape going on right here, or I guess you can just call it a circle, where we have some panel pieces for most of the foundation. We have some little details right here when it comes to windows, a little bit of yellowing just due to age. And we have some printed panel pieces, which we do see in other sets from Harry Potter. We see the front door using the older style hinges in order to open and close that up. And then we have another window over here, another printed panel, and then we're all the way back over here where we have the chimney. Now, in order to access the interior of Hagrid's hut, you have to remove the rubber band, which is in this plain black color. It's just easily connected around all of those studs, though, like I said, it's just not something I really generally care for, and that makes the tip of Hagrid's roof. Otherwise, all these will start coming out as you see there. And then as you actually open up into Hagrid's hut, you know, this is actually the part that I really like. If you do have the rubber band on for quite some time, it'll give you like this sort of like roofing going on over the entire area. So looking into the interior of Hagrid's hut, this is all connected using a bunch of these hinge bricks, which you can see them in the very back in that black color. We have a few accessory details inside just to spice up the interior. From the side over here, we have two accessories in this barrel, one being this pickaxe in the dark gray, and then the other one of those Fabuland axes. We also see a small torch in the background. We have some hooks to hang these keys, those more metallic gold or brass colored keys. Very cool to get more of those. We have some potion ingredients and a goblet in that yellow color, which is a classic color to see around this time for Harry Potter. We see an owl in a tan color, which I thought was really interesting to see in this set. You can even put that outside of Hagrid's hut if you really want to. We have the fireplace, which I think is really interesting how that works, because we have a feature where you can spin the chimney and we'll have the fire on one side, and if you spin it around, we'll have the baby Norbert, which I think is a really cool reference. And in order to actually get him out, you can move the gate down using those hinge pieces and bring out the dragon mold, which I don't think this was new for the time, but it's really cool to get the dragon in that sand green. We also saw Norbert in a few other renditions of Hagrid's hut. Another thing you see above the fireplace is one of those mugs in red, just to signify that Hagrid likes to feed his guests. We see another secret compartment over here, and if you lift down this hinge plate, you can see we have a book. And this book has a very interesting print with a dragon from the front, because in Harry's first year, Hagrid got Norbert, who we just saw, and in order to find out a little bit more, he got a book from the library to learn a little bit more about dragons. So I think that's really cool that we got that. Nothing inside the book, but really cool prints for the time. You can plop that right back in that general area, and lock it back up as a little hidden feature. And then finally, from this window, we have a little plant, as well as a translucent spider and that translucent orange, which I don't know why that's there, but hey, it's fine, and it adds a little bit more extra detail. And as I said, you can open and close the door, and you can also bring the roofs together as you see there, and bring the roofs all together at a point. So overall, for $30 back in the day, this is not one of the better versions of Hagrid's hut, though it's a great start for the time. You have a custom-made roof for Hagrid's hut, which is something really cool to see back in 2001. You get both minifigures of Hagrid, of course, for Hagrid's hut, as well as Albus Dumbledore. This was probably one of the cheaper ways to get him mined. You also have a few side builds, which aren't as interesting, but I think the interior makes up for those side builds, and the exterior is fine for the time. And as I said, they have been improving on a lot of these older LEGO Harry Potter sets, and I'm really happy to see that they're continuing to strive for improvements. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this set. Also remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to know every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!